everybody. How you doing? My name is Michael. And I went to grind out a great bow. I know I'm not where I was when I left off the last episode, but I wanted to wrap up a few things first over here. I went to get a great bow. As you can see, it's a gigantic weapon. It's kind of absurd looking. Nothing like this really existed in the real world for the most part, and see, when you use it, you have to kind of anchor it down, almost like you're firing this gigantic harpoon or spear. And we are going to try to get in there. I can't actually use it yet because you need 25 dexterity in order to do it. But I can still break. There we go. There we are. You can go under it there too, it doesn't really matter. Some torches, and this is the room where the rest of those statue turtle type guys are. Just gonna take that off here. I'm just gonna run by them though, because they're there's not really a whole lot of point to fighting them. There we go. Run past, and yeah, we got this guy. What the hell is this guy? I have no flipping idea. However, let's equip that notched whip we just picked up. Get ourselves nice and poisoned. Come on. Come on, I'm right here. There we go. And yeah, that's kind of weird. I thought that he would depoison you originally, but I think he actually repairs your equipment. That's kind of odd. I mean, doesn't depoisoning you make more sense? Let me just take a look here with my club. That's going to damage it nice and good. 69 out of 70, that's not nice and good, but let's just see here. Yeah, and 70 out of 70 restores your equipment, and I think you can kill him, but you don't really get much of a reward for doing it, probably just like a human effigy or something. So, yeah, you may want to come down here to see this. Also, I wanted to point out, there was something really sad. He looks like he's crying. That's sad. I don't like that. This poor monstrosity, whatever the hell it is. Try oddball. Try attacking, don't give up. Anyway, we also picked up Promised Walk of Peace, which I think was known in Dark Souls 1 as Tranquil Walk of Peace. Where are you? Oh, it's a hex, okay. And it makes you move really, really slow. And that's kind of strange. It sort of makes you move as if you're overburdened. And I don't know if you can roll when you're over it, so it can be kind of useful in a fight, but even in the other game, I never quite found much of a use for it, so I'm just going to have to pass that one by. We're going to use the key we picked up in the last episode to go through that door that's just past the bridge that Sin attacks. But we're going to have to fight the two guys on the bridge, so that might be a little bit challenging, but not by much. And there is... There we go. I guess I'll just pop down there. This next area is totally optional. You do not need to go in here to beat the boss, the final boss of the DLC. This path we're about to go down is the way to the troll boss. And what the troll boss is a gank. That's essentially what it is. It is 3 tough, armored enemies, one dressed in full havels, of course, who try to attack you all at once. You know, just sort of the nightmare of some nasty son of a bee invading you in Dark Souls 2, or 1, really. Bam! Got lucky with these guys. going into another little goodies room where there are a bunch of treasures, and they're guarded by two of those weird, I don't know what they're called, some kind of bizarre hexer thing. They're kind of dangerous, but I'm just going to go up and try and melee them. Usually I just try to do them at range, but I'm feeling bold today. Let me see if that poisons you. No? I thought that did. Maybe he cast a spell. Uh-oh. That is pursuers, and that is not something fun. Although dark magic was done totally differently in Dark Souls 1. There are some of the same spells, however their power was vast in Dark Souls 1, whereas here, it's kind of minor. Dried root, that's not that useful. There's another interesting ring up here, I think, that we can get. And also deal with an invader with a lance. Is it a lance? Oh, I don't remember what he has. There's another guy in a bridge. Really? Thought this was something other than just roots. Come on. Anything? Lightning clutch ring. That's kind of an interesting. That's the ring I was talking about. Let's take a look at that in a second. I think that's for faith users out there. The rest was roots. Wonderful. Freaking wonderful. And where are you, lightning clutch ring? Increases lightning attack. So reduces your physical defense, but increases the lightning damage that you do. Obviously, if you are a faith build and use a lot of lightning damage, that can be useful for you. Although I don't think the damage increase is terribly great. So, you know, there's an okay amount of damage, just not too much. Now let's head up here. Okay. There are a bunch of bugs in this next room. There's also a kind of a cool sorcerer-type shield, or caster-type shield that we can get. There's one right behind us. There. Where are you? I thought you were behind us. There you are. Yes, you are. You're a naughty little bug, aren't you? A bunch of these little bastards around here. You and your equipment breakage. You disgust me. I suppose it's not impossible for an enemy to evolve to match the presence of adventurers. I mean, that is sort of what mimics are, aren't they? Or gelatinous cubes that evolve to sweep dungeons clear of detritus and bric-a-brac, like, you know, the bones of dead adventurers. And what is up here? That's our little shield. I don't think I can actually use this shield. Let's take a look here. No, I can't. You need faith and intelligence, so it's more of a hexer shield, but it does look really cool. And you can cast spells with it with the strong attack instead of parrying. So, miracles and sorceries. Okay. That's interesting. And fine work, yeah. You can light these things if you want. I like to do that when I first came here, but there's no point. I mean, it's not even dark, so, you know. And there's really nothing up here. Listen carefully. That's the start of the level, by the way. That's where we came in, at the very beginning. Let's head back down there and see if we can deal with this invader on this bridge. Maybe I could knock him off, but that doesn't sound like a good idea. To try. Come on, where are you? There he is. Rock Shield Boulder. Like the name. Ooh, he might have a spear. He's a filthy spear user. Ooh. And he's got Lloyd's talismans. If you're worried about fighting this guy, I love that you can light the bonfire by even when you're invaded. You couldn't really do that before. I don't think you could do that in Dark Souls 1. You can probably get this guy to fall, too. Oh, is he using the stone Parma? Is that why they're calling the... I got confused before when I was fighting the stone guys in Drangleic Castle, because I thought that the stone soldiers would drop the stone Parma, and the horse knights, that I refer to as stone ponies, because I live in New Jersey, would be the ones to drop the Llewellyn shield, but it's the other way around for some reason. That's pretty weird. Through there is the door to the troll area, which is not a fun place to be. And some torches. That seems useful, right? Some frickin' torches. There's also a hex in here, which I believe, or is this not the way to the hex? I'm not sure. I think it is. It's like a dark version of Soul Greatsword, I think. Let's take a look here. And yes, it is. It's like a Soul Greatsword, but with dark, so it's kind of neat. I like the spell Soul Greatsword. It seems really cool. Now, I think I'm just going to... Should I just go back? I don't think there's any point in going down there. Not that I can. But yeah, I'm just going to go back to the bonfire and then start heading to the other way. Now, this next area contains a new enemy called the Drakeblood Knight. And they seem to use the Drakeblood Greatsword, which is a very good sword that has sort of the Mirah Greatsword's moveset. And they are pretty darn tough because of how quick they are. No, I'll just go back to the first bonfire. And this area also contains their armor, which I plan on wearing later because it's one of my favorite armor sets. It has a cool shield, it looks sort of purplish, and it's just awesome looking. The Drakeblood Knights seem to be intent on breaking into Shulva and robbing them of some sort of treasures. You know, these sort of pillaging knights. And the main boss of this area, Sin, was attacked by a great hero named Yor. And his name is Yor with a G, but I prefer to call him Yor, because it reminds me of Yor from Yor's World, the great fantasy film of the 1980s. And he seems to have led these Drakeblood Knights to attack and pillage and destroy Shulva in order to get some sort of dragon at the bottom of it, Sin, and he used his lance or spear, Yor's spear, to pierce the earth, and that released all the horrible venomous poison into the land, and released, of course, Sin, the dragon himself, who was not very pleased to be woken up. Let's see here. There's also a ton of goodies down here. Tons and tons of goodies. So, lots of cool stuff to get. I think there's Twinkling Titanite, Petrified Dragon Bones, a bunch of Crystal Lizards. The first one of these knights is right through that door. And they can be parried fairly simply. So let's take a look here. Hello there, sir. Of course, I did not parry them correctly. But that doesn't mean that you can't, especially if you have a tower shield, a target shield or something. Ooh, they can't be knocked down on their ass. Oh, yes they can. Hello. I believe these guys can flask, too. They're also using, I think, those spirit tree shields for some reason. This is a room you're almost certainly going to have to come back to multiple times. Can you see them up there? At the very top of the screen. Right in the middle. It's a bunch of those no-good, rotten, filthy crystal lizards. I can usually only get about one of them at a time. What you have to do is throw something up there, then a ton of them are going to pop out, and I really can't get more than one at a time. Maybe there's a way to do it, maybe with spells, but if you want to get these guys, you're going to have to come back multiple occasions. And since I just got 3 chunks, and 2 Petrified Dragon Boners, I think some of them do run the opposite way, so you'll have to play around with these things right here in order to get all of them, but you can get those 3 to pop out with a grenade device. I call them grenade-like weapons, because that's what they're called in Dark Souls 2. I think that's the place right before Jester Thomas, I think. Even though there's no Sanctuary Knight there, I think that is the place. Okay. And this is another weird area that you cannot get back up from where you started from, like Brightstone Cove, Seldora. I don't like that level design, I like verticality, but I like to be able to go back the way I came, which I think you could do in the very vertical first area of Valley of Defilement. So, Why they can't do that with this, I don't know. But at least there is verticality, so there is something there. I believe there is another knight all the way on the other side of this. I don't believe I've successfully snuck up on him yet, though. So he is facing the other way. But, yeah, he's hard to sneak up on. These knights were very astute. Yeah, that's the spirit tree shield thing. I wonder if I still have that on me. I'm pretty sure that's the shield they use. So, I believe there is another bonfire in this area that is hidden that we are going to be getting. I do enjoy fighting these guys. They do seem to be a pretty decent challenge, because they're pretty fast and you can parry them, and I always like an enemy that can be parried. And, okay, he's not there. The hidden bonfire is here, usually marked by a message on the ground there. That's how I found it the first time through. Let us go through here. Very nice. And now we can continue on. There are 2 of these knights down here, I believe. The desire to change yourself into a dragon is a really interesting idea, because they think of it as a way to cheat undeath. Why they want to transform themselves into a dragon is a little... I mean, is it even possible? Is it a little crazy? Maybe the undead curse? I mean, I don't think they were undead when they came down here. But certainly the desire to escape the cycle of death and rebirth. Ooh, they fat roll, don't they? Oh, okay. They need to get a Royal Soldier's ring. Ooh. Oh, he's probably going to Flask too. Oh no, he's coming back. Oh! I have to be more precise with these strength weapons. There we go. And why they want to and I guess they think they can turn themselves into a dragon by stealing the dragon's blood, like literally taking it from the bodies of these dragons. Maybe one that they thought Sin was long dead. But how did they know about him in the first place? What was he doing down there? This is the Drakeblood armor, and I'm just going to very briefly show it because it looks so cool. I'm going to be wearing that in another build, probably. Another episode, rather. Now let's go get us some sweet, sweet Twinkling Titanite, and I believe Smooth and Silky Stone. But I believe we have to go up first to do that. That's the boss door, way down there, at the bottom. Is that? No, I thought I saw an invasion sign for a second, and I got a little worried. Now, the boss of this area, Elana, the Baneful Queen, we find out that in all of the DLCs, there are queens, exactly like Nashandra, and they are all, as Nashandra is, I'm sort of revealing something that we find out later on, but it's not that much of a secret, you should know it now, that all of these ladies are actually children of Manus, of the spirit of primordial darkness from the original Dark Souls DLC, and that they came here to all of the great kings of the land that they could find in order to control them in some way. Why they wanted to do that exactly is unclear. I mean, the queens, not all of the queens come off as evil. Elana does and Nashandra do, but, and then one of the Iron King also, I forget her name though. What was it? No, I don't remember her name. But the queen of the Ivory King actually comes out looking kind of sympathetic for some reason. So she seemed kind of good. I don't know why. She was good and the rest were evil. Ooh. Come on. Come to daddy. Oh, we both went for a jump attack. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. boss of this area, Elana, is absolutely brutal. I've talked about her before, but I think now that I'm looking at the time, I probably will go try and fight her. But she is devastatingly tough, and I can't promise I'm going to be able to beat her in this episode, but I will go over there and try to fight her at least once. Want to be fully rested up and ready before going to fight her, because she's given me so much grief. She may be the hardest boss in the game, depending on how you look at it. But we do have a couple of friends that we can bring along with us, including 2 NPC summons, including Ben Hart. And Ben Hart, it was nice of them to add that, because I think I've mentioned this before, but in order to get Ben Hart's quest completed, his quest line, what we need to do is to summon him in all of the places we can summon him for fights, which is, if I'm remembering it right, the Prowling Magus, the Looking Glass Knight, the Throne Watcher and Defender, which we haven't seen yet, Nishandra, the final boss, and the Giant King. And so, of those, he had to fight in and win, that is, survive till the end with us, through 4 out of those 5. So, it still has to be 4, but they're giving us an extra chance with Elana. Although, considering how tough Elana is, it's kind of questionable how much extra help it really is giving us. Maybe not a tremendous amount. Now, this next boss, as I said, is brutal. She is a large, sort of squishy-looking skeleton creature. She has a powerful physical attack. She has a number of spells, up to and including a double flame swathe, so try avoiding that if you can. She can teleport around the room. She has... oh my goodness, what else she has? She has multiple hex attacks. She has pursuers. She has this hex attack where she sort of machine guns you with a bunch of them all at once. She is absolutely a brutal fight. So you need to come in here and get as much as you can away from her, because not only that, not only does she have all of those things that I mentioned, she also has a sort of explosion attack around herself, where she will sort of make all the area around her uninhabitable for a few seconds. She can also summon in, that's the little machine gun attack there that I was talking about. She can also summon in people to help her, including, and she will either summon in a group of 5 skeletons, or him, Velstad, who's just been summoned into the room. Yeah, that's fucking Velstad. That's the explosion attack. Oh, wait, no, it isn't. That's the explosion attack there. So what in God's name is Velstad even doing here? I mean, he's fairly easy to dodge at the very least, but the fact that you have to dodge that double flame swathe while also dodging Velstad, it's crazy, and she can just summon him in multiple times during this fight. That's not a one-off kind of thing. She can do that a lot. That's the pursuers. We gotta get away from this. I hope she targets Benhart or Ellie. The other person they give you for this, called Steelheart Ellie, is pretty frickin' useless. She actually is wielding a double cestus, I believe. Oh my goodness. That seemed fairly easy to dodge. That's something at the very least. She can also summon in a group of 5 skeletons, which is really, really what you want to happen. That's what you hope for, not Velstad. Because and in New Game Plus, oh dear sweet lord, their health. Their fucking health is crazy. It is so high, it is really difficult to fight this boss. She fucking teleports around. You gotta worry about her physically, too. It's not just the spells you gotta worry about, but you got multiple flame swathes, pursuers. It's insane. And sometimes you just have to get lucky and hope that she summons in that group of 5 skeletons, the other thing she can summon in. You know, I was only able to beat this on my sorcery character because she did that. That's the attack she went for. She is also very resistant against pretty much any magic damage. Hexes, miracles, pyromancy, sorcery, you name it. She is resistant to it. And that's not fun. That's not fun at all. That you have to go through all that crap. And on New Game Plus, oh my dear sweet lord, is it brutal. It took me God knows how many times to beat her. Thank God there's a convenient bonfire, or I might have given up. I mean, it's just crazy. And we got lucky there because we're running a strength build, and strength builds kind of have it easy in this game, especially in the DLCs where it almost seems to give pride of place to strength builds, and they just made her way, way too powerful. She has everything. Any one of those things I mentioned, the tough physical attack combined with teleporting, or the powerful spells, or the ability to summon people in, would automatically make her a very tough boss, you know, just as it is. But unfortunately, she has all of those things put together to make this absolute beast of a character, and it's brutal. It's really, really tough to fight her in New Game Plus especially. And I've heard some people try to fight her in the Covenant of Champions, and oh dear sweet lord, that sounds difficult. It really seems designed for you in this game to have, and you know, the thing about the magic being her being so resistant to magic, it seems like they designed for you in this game to make sure that you have some sort of very powerful physical attack, some huge, every build essentially has some huge heavy sword or weapon that they could use, even if it doesn't match their class. Like sorcerers have the Blue Moon Greatsword, or is that what it's called? The Moonlight Greatsword, I mean. And Hexers have the Abyss Sword and the Sacred Chime Hammer. Strength characters obviously have a number of them. Dex characters have a gigantic, big Greatsword called, what is it called? The Curved Dragon Greatsword? Well, anyway. They seem to design the game for everyone to have the ability to have a huge, heavy weapon. Because the enemies have too much damn health. And Demon Souls seem to have a lot less, especially bosses. But never mind that. Let us free the embedded, something I did not do before. Yes, I will use the key to the embedded. What the embedded is, I do not know, or why he was trying to control that woman, but I do know that this is one of the most beautiful moments of the game. Singing on the way down. I really, really enjoyed that. Now, I believe that we no longer have the key to the embedded as a weapon, which is kind of unfortunate because it was kind of a neat-looking weapon. But I just wanted to show you that, and you do get a ring, a kind of a useless ring, called the Ring of the Dead, which is somewhere around here. Ring of the Dead. Keep human appearance even when hollow. That has almost no use for any character. I mean, maybe on the farthest end of my belief spectrum, I guess if you're having trouble with the game and you want this, you know, you're constantly dying and you're running out of human effigies, but you want to look alive, you can have this ring, but that even doesn't make sense, because if you're constantly dying, you're going to want to use every ring you possibly can get. So, it's just about 30 minutes here, so I think I am going to wrap up the episode. Well, I am trying to get 25 decks, because I would like to use the Yours Spear. But until then, I will see you guys next time.